Hey everybody, Hunter Fisher, Trapper, Trader, Guide, Scout, and Interpreter, and just a country cook, Steve Hall here in Nashville, Tennessee, along with pretty Miss Sheila running that camera back there. Hi, Sheila.
Hi.
Today we're going to make McDonald's French fries at home. And all the recipes that I've seen have complications to them, and I'll explain why. Size, texture, and how you prepare them is everything. Come on over here, let's get started. Now, if you've ever tried to use one of these things, they come with two different grates. One's way too big. The other one's kind of smaller, but you can't cram stuff through, but it's still too big for McDonald's French fries. And let me explain. This is what I ended up with every time I used any kind of a, French fry maker. Big, huge, thick French fries like that, and even the smallest ones are this big right here through the smallest grate. Now let me show you something. These are McDonald's French fries. Sheila just brought them down from the store. Look how small that French fry is. They're all tiny, and some of them are really nice and long. And how they get those is McDonald's actually takes real potatoes. They don't make these out of pressed mashed potatoes. They take real potatoes and they slam them through a water tube that shoots like 60 miles an hour water cannon, and it shoots them through a dicer, and it makes them real small like that. And I have come to the conclusion the only way to make these is to cut them yourself. And I'm going to show you what I do. And look what I've got. Little baby French fries that look like McDonald's fries. And how did I get them? I'll show you exactly what I did. Now, just for this recipe, I bought 4 of these potatoes at the store. I got them cut up like this, 3 of them so far, and here's even a couple little slices off of one. And I don't waste anything. I keep all the pieces because these are getting fried up as taters for dinner tonight. But let me show you what I do. Is I cut the end caps off of these, but I try to keep them as long as possible because I want a nice long potato. Then these guys go in my little fry them up later bowl over here because I don't waste nothing. Now we're going to square these up. Just cut down one side to get a flat side, then turn it onto that flat side. Cut another flat, turn it onto that side, and do it on all 4 sides. Now it's okay if you leave a little skin on the corners and stuff, because then they kind of taste like Wendy's French fries, which I absolutely love too. Now I'm not going to waste this. This skin is good nutrition. It's delicious fried up. So I'm just going to cut these up here. And these are all going in my fry up later night for dinner bowl. Now, I find out which way is the thinner side, and I lay it flat so it's wider this way than it is tall. And then I make my cut so that it is as thick as a McDonald's French fry. Real small. Now this takes a couple extra minutes instead of running them through a V slicer and all that stuff, but them V slicers put out great big huge fat French fries, and it just doesn't work right. It's not the same texture, it doesn't produce the same taste, any of that stuff. And I think I can maybe get 3 more out of this little piece right here. And always cut down away from your hand, of course. Be very careful, and then split the difference. Beautiful thing. And there we have our little flats. Now it's really easy. When you lay it like this and just lay your fingers on there sideways, you can cut off the perfect McDonald's French fry every time. And usually, when you get right here, the last one is just split the difference. Look at that. Nice and long and little, just like McDonald's French fries. And every one doesn't have to be perfect, because they're not. And let me get the rest of these cut up, and I'll be right back with you. See, it just seems like it works out perfect every time. Every potato I did ended up the same thing. And that's the last one right there. And look what we have. A big bowl of exact McDonald's French fries. Now, it might take a couple extra minutes, but it only took me 5 minutes to do all 4 of those potatoes, and that's plain. Now, what we're going to do now is I got a bowl here of ice water. real cold water. And this is the first process to making these McDonald's French fries. Just put them in cold, cold water. And you'll notice as soon as we put them in that the water immediately starts turning cloudy, because we want to soak the starch out of these things. I'm going to kind of stir them around a little bit in there. And we're going to leave them soak in here for about 5 minutes to get all the excess starch from where we made all those cuts off of there. But look at our perfect little French fries. They look awesome. And they look like McDonald's French fries. All right, we'll see you in 5 minutes. These babies been in here for 5 minutes, and look how cloudy that water is. Now we're going to take them out of this cold water. We're going to lay them on our paper towels over here and let them drain for a good 5 to 10 minutes over here. Actually, we're going to kind of pat them down. Let them drain for just about 5 minutes, but we're going to pat them down at the same time, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I am so proud of my little French fries because they look just awesome. All right, no more hiding in there. And now we're going to pat these down here. Try to get them a little bit dry. And we're going to move these off the side and throw this water away. Be right back. Now, part of the process to get that wonderful McDonald's flavor is they soak their French fries in hot water with corn syrup and sugar. Now, I got about 12 cups of water in here. You can use less in a smaller pot and pour it over into like a casserole dish if you want to do it that way. But for these 12 cups of water, I'm going to put in 1/2 cup of corn syrup. And I'm waiting for this to come to a boil, so I thought I'd dissolve my sugars right now. We're also going to put in 1/2 cup of white granulated sugar in there and stir it until it's dissolved. Then we're going to bring this water to a boil, and right when it comes to a boil, I'll be right back to show you what we're going to do next. See you in a minute. All right, our water came to a boil. We just turned it off. And look at these beautiful fries over here. I got to just show them off a little bit more. Can you see them, Sheila?
I can.
I'm telling you what, now it is time for them to take a little 10-minute bath in our boiling hot water, which we turned off. We're not going to continue to boil it. We're just going to use that hot water with that sugar and that corn syrup in it to soak into these fries for 10 minutes. In fact, I might smack the lid back on. Now, you don't need a big cooker like this. You can do them in a casserole dish or whatever and just leave them out in the open, so to speak. But I'm just going to kind of push these guys around so they really get happening. And then, I love to do that. Then I'm going to put this lid on here for 10 minutes, and we'll be back with you. We took them off the burner and let them sit here for 10 minutes in this sweet water with corn syrup and sugar. Hot, boiling hot water, but we never continued it on the burner. We took it out. We're going to lay these in here. And what I'm going to do, because I want to pat these kind of dry, is I'm going to put some paper towels in. I'm going to put some more on top of those paper towels. We want to pat this bunch dry as well. We want to kind of get these real nice and dry. Then we're going to kind of tumble them a little bit here. Kind of open them up. They're spread out as much as you can get. And now we're going to put these in the freezer for 20 minutes. Now, this seems like a lot of work, but trust me, if you want good, perfectly cut, delicious McDonald's-style French fries without somebody slamming the window shut when you go through the drive-thru, this is how you do it. We're going to pop these in the freezer for 20 minutes, and we'll be right back. Our fries are back from the freezer, but they're not frozen, but they're really cold. Our oil has reached 350 degrees. That's why we turned the camera on, and let's put these gently in here. what we're going to do is we're going to cook these for exactly 2 minutes. We're going to blanch them, so to speak. Then we're going to pull them out of there and put them over here and let them cool a little bit. And I'll explain that in 2 minutes. We'll see you then. All right, these have been cooking for exactly 2 minutes. And we're going to take them out of the oil. And we're going to let them rest over here for 10 minutes and cool down. Then we're going to put them back in the oil for 7 more minutes, and you're going to see the most perfect McDonald's French fries on the planet. Let me get the rest of these in here, and we'll put them in a different container so they cool differently. Rest of our little fries. And the fries you're looking at came from 4 of those nice big potatoes, if that helps you out there. And I'll put all the ingredients and times and everything in the description box below. Our second batch has been in here for 2 minutes. Time for them to come out as well. And what we're doing is we're cooking them nice and fluffy inside. And we're actually blanching them just like you'd blanch corn. My Uncle Bob used to do that. He'd get all kinds of sweet corn, then he'd blanch it and then freeze it. Now here's the neat part. You want to save yourself a lot of time. Do all this ahead of time, up to this point right here. Do it where you cut it. You soak it in the cold water. You put it in the hot water with the corn syrup and the sugar. Then you blanch it after you let it set for a while in the freezer. You blanch it for 2 minutes. Then you can freeze these. Lay them out nice and freeze them and put them in a bag. Then when you're ready to have French fries and have the kids over, all you have to do is cook them for another 7 minutes. That's what McDonald's does. When you see them dump that big bag of frozen fries, they've been soaked, they got the sweetness in them, they've been blanched, they're already pre-cooked on the inside, and then they only have to cook the outside. So we're going to let these set for about 10 minutes, then we're going to cook them for 7 minutes and get them nice and golden brown, hit them with a lick of salt, and you're going to see some of the greatest McDonald's perfect French fries you've ever seen. See you in a bit. Okay, our oil's back up to 350. These have been sitting, cooling down for about 10 minutes. I actually put them in the refrigerator the last 5 minutes to kind of help them cool down a little bit. Now we're ready for the final step. We're going to plunk these babies in here for 7 minutes. And they're going to come out perfect McDonald's fries. I might be able to get the whole little batch because I only got a few extra ones here. Let me see if I can get the rest of them in there. Sure, looky there. All right, that's 4 potatoes. Check your watch. See you in 7 minutes with perfect McDonald's French fries. We are coming up on our last 30 seconds to 7 minutes. And these float to the top, so I've been kind of gently pushing them down every now and then to help get a little oil on the top half of these few that are on the top. And I got to tell you, I took one out of the fryer and cooled it off over here and ate it a minute ago, and it's absolutely fantastic. And time's up. So what we're going to do, look at these McDonald's fries, perfect golden brown. We're going to sprinkle about half of these things in the basket. Going to hit them with a little salt. Then we're going to get some more. Look at that. Exactly like McDonald's fries. Not like those great big huge French fries that come out of that cutter that you got at the house. I know because I've got a couple of them and I'm never going to use them again. I'm going to take the time to do my own. One more little shot of salt on top. Let me move this over to one side here if I can. If I can slide this out of my way. Be careful with that oil. Just so I can get this front and center. Give it a little toss with them fries. Look at these. All. You know them nice long ones that you find in the McDonald's container every now and then? How about if every one of them were that big? Wouldn't that be magnificent? I'm going to let these cool just a second. Man, the only thing we need now is a little Hunt's ketchup. Crunchy on the outside, soft and fluffy on the inside. You won't believe what I talked the kid in the window out of at McDonald's. 2 of these little containers for me and Miss Sheila. Now, I don't have one of them little metal scoops. So I'm just going to have to shove them in with my fingers to make them look good. But I'll tell you, they are just absolutely fantastic. If I can really truly tell you about this recipe, this turned out so good. Each one of these fries is just absolutely perfect. Set them in there and see if I can't get another handful or two of these. These are just cooling off to where you can get them. And if you're tired of getting home with soggy fries, make your own at the house. And this is exactly how they look at McDonald's. Am I right or am I right? When you get them at McDonald's, isn't that what they're supposed to look like? You get a few more fluffy ones in the middle. How am I looking, Sheila?
Looking delicious.
Does that look good?
Yes.
Fantastic. Wow, perfect McDonald's French fries made at home. They're absolutely crunchy on the outside, soft and fluffy on the inside. I got a smack on camera because they're just too good. And look what we got for dinner tonight. All the little outsides of the skins when we squared them up. We're going to fry those up later. Stop using one of these. Stop using one of those things. Cut them up the way I showed you, and you'll make the most delicious, perfect McDonald's French fries you ever ate. They are absolutely terrific, aren't they, Sheila?
They are.
She had a couple of them as we were moving the camera back, and wow. It's terrific. We hope you enjoyed this recipe. In fact, we hope you subscribe to our channel. Little Shotgun Red's face will pop up over here in just a second if it hasn't already. When you click on it, it'll pop up and you can hit subscribe. And once the subscribe check is there, if you look to the right of that, you'll see a little bell. Click on that and it'll drop down a notification box. If you highlight that box by checking it and hit save, then it'll notify you every time we come out with a new recipe. And we really hope you do that. And we thank the subscribers that are already out there doing a great job. Over on this side, we're going to put up another recipe that we hope you enjoy. And is this the best recipe for McDonald's French fries you ever ate? If it ain't, it ought to be. This is Steve Hall in Nashville, Tennessee saying we'll see you next time right here on Cooking with Shotgun Red. Time for one more fry. You just can't eat one.